All right, guys, welcome. Thank you for having me. Well, forks, you either hate them or you made some money out of it. Well, the topic today of this panel is decentralized politics and fork fights. We have seen quite some fights and some crypto drama the past months or the past year, to be fair. In my personal eyes, forks are some kind of reverse ICOs. You can create a supply out of nothing, and then you ask the market to determine the price afterwards. So I have a very hate-love relationship with forks. Myself, I only trade forks to accumulate more Bitcoin. But I'm very curious about your strategies. But my first question for you guys is, in regards of the original Bitcoin chain, would we have been better off if forking was made impossible somehow? So, Jack, would like to ask you for your first answer.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay. So, 4 years in the industry, I think we've seen quite a lot of forks. And like what you said just now, prior to ICOs, forking was fun. Forking was how you make more money out of nothing. Forking is what you do when you feel like you want to create something from thin air. And, you know, the only problem is whatever that forks out from the main chain usually has less value, as we can see. Of course, you have BTC, the main chain. Then you've got BCH Cash. And up till recently, what we have seen, BCH SV and BCH ABC. So we have seen the same trend. I think I can't quote exact statistics, but I know that there were about 80 forks that happened. And out of the 80 forks, maybe only like 4 survived.
Yeah, exactly. So could you say that like all the forks combined is the actual value of Bitcoin?
No, you have to fork it responsibly.
Good one. What you said?
Yeah, you have to fork it responsibly. Exactly. You know, with responsibility. You don't just fork for the sake of forking. Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. So, what's your view, Dustin? I know you are a Bitcoin maximalist. So, if I may be so free, I think you have a aversion against forks. So how do you trade them, or do you even trade them?
Okay, personal belief, I do believe that when it comes to a Bitcoin fork, all of them are actually just a pre-mined shitcoin. Pretty much that's my general opinion. When it comes to the main chain of Bitcoin, that's what I truly believe in. When we talk about Bitcoin Cash itself, I think this is on public, right? So I generally don't believe in it. I can believe in the tech, and I can believe in the politics, because this is where different people believe in different things. They create different chains of Bitcoin. That I can agree on. But at the end of the day, are they truly Bitcoin? That is what we have a problem with right now, right? Sure. So, and when we look at the price of the forks, you can tell that people in general, or in fact the public, or in fact the free market itself, don't believe that Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. They don't believe that Bitcoin Cash SV or Bitcoin Cash ABC is Bitcoin. They actually have shown, the market has said and have proven their stand that they are not Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. And it's especially very confusing for retail traders, especially if even the Bitcoin.com website is owned by other people than support Bitcoin. So that's very confusing. And that also leads to my next question I want to ask you, Song. Lately I've read like multiple articles about the fear from institutional investors to open up or add crypto to their funds because of the risk of forking. It's too risky for them to participate in these kind of unpredictable market behavior. So should they be afraid, and why exactly?
So I'm going to be completely frank. I don't think institutions know what forking is. So I'll start off with that. And it's not to belittle the institutional market. It's to say that we're in very, very early stages of large-scale or institutional adoption by everybody we thought that the blockchain system would fight or push to the side. Now we're begging for it, right? I definitely think that it creates a lot of market risk because institutions view particularly currency or investments in a very, very specific way, and it's a one way. It's liquidity. It's can I get in, can I get out, is there enough money for it to affect my life or my institution? And that's really it. Like, those are the questions, right? And right now, because of the fact that there's forking, that there's a lot of the ICOs and token that are continuously coming out in the market, from their perspective, and this is direct feedback, it's just not big enough, right? And when you get to certain scale, you reach price stability because it can do things that Bitcoin cannot do today, i.e. buy milk or rice or whatever you want, right? And when you hit scale, you reach that price stability which allows institutions to be able to adopt it in a meaningful way. And the irony is, and this is also a philosophical argument, Bitcoin was supposed to be for a transfer of value, right? Money. But it doesn't do everything, right? Like, you're not going to wake up one day and say, I can buy insurance with Bitcoin, but I need somebody to underwrite my insurance. Like, it's not going to go away next year or even the year after that. So in order for this to be a natural transition, I definitely think that this fighting, the infighting needs to stop, whether it's an ego fight, whether it's a money fight, whatever it is, that needs to stop because institutions will not adopt it until that stops. However, the flip side of that is if you don't have decentralized politics and blockchain or cryptocurrency, the fundamental value of the chain or of the technology kind of goes out the window, right? You've become centralized and you have to make decisions very, very quickly. So one of the things that I do think may help in the future, and I don't know what it looks like, is a natural plan from centralization to decentralization. So you use a centralized method to get to a scale where it is meaningful, and then you can decentralize it such that the thing that you're using in a meaningful way is no longer controlled by the centralized entity. And I think that's a very, very interesting concept because we've never seen an industry or government that centralizes and then decentralizes. That doesn't work very well, right? That's a revolution. Like, you have to overthrow it. There needs to be blood and sweat and tears. But if you have a natural plan of transition, it kind of forces the decision-making from the beginning to lean toward the decentralization. And I think that would help a lot in terms of institutions understanding how this actually works.
All right, thank you. Aman, also a question for you, of course. Most of the forkers, they would tell people they are doing it to improve the underlying asset. But at the same time, they are also reusing the name. Like, you have like Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Green, and since last week, we also have Bitcoin Red, since the price drop. But do you think it's an okay thing to do to reuse the name and ride the wave of the popularity of the underlying asset?
Well, I mean, people who are doing forking are full of cowboy attitudes. So there are two narratives to it. If you are doing actually for improving some kind of criteria within the existing on-chain, like BCH or BCC was done with certain kind of a notion that you're going to improve the block size. But every other new coin you are making just out of an excitement so that you can gain some monetary benefit out of it and there is no real value in the ecosystem, I don't think so. It is of certain kind of a thing which needs to be exist. And if you look at technologies in the past, 1960s, it was very nascent, and then internet. It was an emerging technology which people realized the potential in 2 to 3 decades. Bitcoin just celebrated its 10th birthday. I mean, are we really judging someone over a capability and a capacity in 10 years? you look at what is the notion behind Bitcoin to actually bring in the financial inclusion in the ecosystem. And then you are just making it towards the degradation part, or launching some things out of an excitement that, okay, this technology or this currency doesn't have a potential to actually bring in the value which it was thought. So if you're forking with an intention and you want to bring in impact, how many developer voice are still there to talk about a fork rather than a trader voice to actually make some monetary value? So it's literally very disgusting to see sometimes as well that you'd use a prefix Bitcoin and name it with your favorite suffix and launch a new coin, which doesn't really have a meaning and a value within the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that's not really a point which I think I would go with the forking kind of a mechanism.
All right, thank you. You mentioned trading wars. We saw the hash war. It also had like lots of technical backgrounds in regards of mining perspective. Jack, could you maybe explain what that hash war was to people who are not really familiar with the creation of these kind of forks and also with the hash power involved?
Well, like you.
Like what if I was your mom? How would you explain it?
So, like you, I don't like to be considered an expert, so I'll just share what I know, okay? So, as we know, blockchain goes like, in a chain. It goes one down. So, what happens when one party controls the hash power? The other party can go make empty blocks, empty transactions around your chain. So, what happens then is that it takes more time for you to confirm which is the longest chain. So that creates congestion. Basically, if you want to put it in simple terms, probably like a DDoS attack. They keep coming at you. So I would say the main reason why the whole community rejected this type of politics is that it's meant to be decentralized. All right? But we are seeing two parties coming out and say that, I'm against you, you're against me, and it seems as though they are controlling everything. Yeah. So it comes back to the centralized version, which the community don't really like, or at least I don't like.
Yeah. No, it really looks like propaganda wars. It's like there's like lots of money involved, not only to win those hash power games, but also to steer to a certain narrative that will support the buy support. That was also helpful.
Like what you said this morning, they're trying to throw mud at each other to say that I'm better than you. Let me be the main one, because there is a lot of money involved in getting, if one guys win and then the other guys get like nothing at all. So there is a lot of money involved. So it is dirty politics in a way. Yeah.
So Dunstan, like last year, I remember the Bitcoin Cash fork was also, to be honest, a very nice catalyst up running for the Bitcoin run, or like part of it. Do you think such events could happen in the future again?
Definitely. I believe that many a times it's about centralization, which also means that people believe in controlling power, in controlling groups of people. Decentralization is always the key, because we believe that in giving people back their power, back their authority, that usually creates a lot more wealth, a lot more equitable distribution. But when it comes to situations like these, we call them politics actually. It's like the Republican, in that sense. Yeah, in a way, right? So actually what is happening is it's just two groups of people. They attain a lot of authority, a lot of influence, a lot of power. I shall not name who they are. Yeah, although most of the people here, So what happens is, if they show people that they are the one that people should believe in, all value from the original Bitcoin chain will one shot flow into their Bitcoin Cash chain. And for the leaders of these two groups of people, they become literally one of the richest people on earth in an instant, right now. So, well, like what everyone here says, there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of value.
And a question for you all, like if you want to obtain the coin that comes out of a fork, you have to own your private keys, of course. But as we all know, lots of retail traders, they store their coins on the exchange. And not all the exchanges support forks, or they have to support forks, but they are keeping the coins for themselves. So, what's your view on this kind of business doing of business? Because to me, it's of course it's your own decision that you leave your Bitcoin on an exchange, but it's also very dangerous if certain exchanges have huge amounts of certain forked coins. So what's your view on that?
Sorry, gentlemen, just to let you guys know, I know we're having a forking great time on stage. But can we just have another 2 minutes?
Great.
Yeah, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Fire.
So what we do is you have to find a trustable exchange like us. I know that was coming. So yes, we did support. Yeah, we did support the fork as well. Although personally it was a choice, but I mean I had to have consensus among my management team, so we consented to supporting the fork, and then.
That sounds very decentralized.
Oh wow! So because like you said, most retailers do not understand how to do it.
Yeah.
So we're giving an added service. Always think about us as giving a service to the community. So what service do you provide? You provide forking services sometimes.
All right, very last question. What's the best fork that exists today? From right to left?
Really? For Bitcoin or for the rest of them?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much I think the best fork that happened would be ETH then.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that one. Yeah.
Sure.
Same.
All right, it's on sale now, Ether. It was
Probably viewers wondering to answer the question for the exchange, right? We would so wanted to answer a question for an exchange.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Can we give them a big
guys.
round of applause, please? Thank you,
you so much.
panelists and moderator Jimmy. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Thank you very much.